Well, hello there. It's Lynn, your Bad Couch Guru, and I really hope that you enjoyed the last few days with Jay Grunke about running. And if you are at all interested in thinking maybe you could be a runner when you've never been able to before, go back and listen to the last 3 episodes, and she might give you some inspiration and some tips. And remember, she's got that free 7-day help program. Also, she seemed really, really fantastic. But if you're not a runner, no worries. I'm not much of one nowadays myself either, but it's all good. Okay, today is Thursday, the 9th. I'm actually recording this a week in advance. And today we're going to go through 5 quick tips that will help you get motivated. So I haven't done these in quite a while. Essentially what it is there are 5 things that I have learned and done in my own life recently that essentially don't take any extra time and have been ways to help me build strength. And so hopefully one of these today will resonate with you and you will have a tip for yourself. Alrighty, folks, 5 quick tips. That take virtually no time. Let's dive right in. Okay, tip number 1, Alan Meisner from the 40 Plus Fitness podcast. We had him on, and he gave one tip that really stuck with me, and that was this. When I watched the television, I know I'm always saying, exercise while you watch TV. It's good for you. And some of you just want to relax. That's like your only time to relax. And I get it. I totally get it. So this is for you. When you watch TV, use that as a mental trigger to remind you that before you actually sit down, to stand and practice a little balance work. And it's really, really simple. You just stand really tall, pay attention to your posture, get your posture nice and tall and good. And if you're not sure what that is, holy moly, schedule a call with me. You need help. No, it's all good. It's all good. Stand really tall, then pick one leg or the other, doesn't matter which one, and pick it up off the ground and balance. Just for a little while, and how long you can balance will depend on you. Some of you are going to need to add some challenge by taking that leg and lifting the knee higher, or lifting the leg out or back, or swinging it around to challenge your balance. Then put that leg down and then pick the other leg up and see if you can do about the same thing. How hard should you work? Not too hard, just enough to challenge your balance a little bit. And if you do that every day, this is one of those things you can do every day, and your balance will get better and better and better without it ever feeling like a big exertion, ever. So unless you have significant balance challenges to begin with, for most of us, it's going to be a pretty easy way to keep our balance going, which is so important as we age. So there's tip number 1, balancing in front of the TV. Make sure you have something to grab onto. Keep this safe. I don't want anybody falling down on me, not even once. All right? Okay. Tip number 2. Beth Learn of Fit to Be Fitness inspired me through the conversation that we had on the podcast with her to take a lamp that I had in the corner of my room that was a far reach to get to. It was actually in the corner of my my office at the time. My office that felt like a closet. There was that Freudian slip. And she inspired me to rather than leaving that lamp on all the time, to reach for that lamp every day and turn it on, and to reach for it every day and turn it off. It takes virtually no effort. It's not exercise, but after only just a few weeks of doing that, reaching in all of my life and everything around me became just that much easier. And reaching for that lamp became like seriously no big deal. I didn't even notice it anymore after a few weeks of it. So I recently added another one to it, which was my blender squat, I call it. And so I took my blender I don't like too many things on my kitchen counters. I get claustrophobic. So I took my blender, found a good spot for it on a bottom shelf. And when using my blender, I'm usually making a smoothie or some kind of a vegetable soup. So I'm usually thinking healthy. And so I decided that every time I use my blender, I will do a full squat down, grab that blender, weighs a few pounds, and do a full squat up to put the blender on the cupboard. And then the same when I put it away, and I'll never leave my blender on the cupboard. That obviously adds work, but it actually has been a fun thing that brings a smile to me. So if you think you can pick one thing to do that'll add a squat or a reach in your life, then do it. And it might actually be fun for you. Now, if it causes a lot of stress and you just feel like life is hard enough, then maybe that's not the tip for you. So only you can decide what's best for you. All right. Tip number 3. James Garrett on habit stacking. So he's the one we brought in that talked about neuroplasticity and how it actually takes closer to 66 days to build a habit, that the concept of 21 days to build a habit is something somebody made up along the way and nobody really validated how true it was. And so he talked about the concept of your brain likes to do things in order. Your brain likes to not think about things. So take little tiny habits and stack them. For example, probably all of us, when we take a shower, we have a habit stack. We probably all do the exact same thing in the same order every time. I mean, maybe not all of us. Like I'm thinking, what do? I always wash my hair first. Maybe you don't wash your hair first. Things like that. I always shave one leg before the other leg, things like that could be, and then my brain just doesn't have to think about it. So when you think about building in new habits, think about stacking them. So you could have a stack of, maybe I'm going to do that squat with my blender, and then I'm going to add and stack onto it a reach up in the air. So then maybe, you know what? I think I'm going to try this tomorrow. So I'll do a squat and then a reach, and that'll be my stack. And then maybe eventually I'll add something else to it. So then my brain thinks less. Habit stacking. All right, tip number 4. Stride length. So this is very simple. When you go for a walk or a jog, but most of us are walking, every now and then think about making your steps just a little bit longer. Increase the stride length. The reason is because as we age, we tend to decrease our stride length. So if we're always thinking every now and then, when I go for a walk, I'm going to now and then take longer steps, then that'll actually work a fuller range of motion. It'll force more core work and core stability, which is awesome. You want that. And it'll actually feel fun. Like, ooh, I'm doing something a little extra. Takes no extra time and not a big deal effort. All right. Quick tip number 5, last one. I've been doing this one and I love it. It's the full range of motion. And what I do is I've been not consistently, but if I have a day where I'm at my desk a lot or sitting a lot, when I get up, I just take a moment to put all of my joints in through the full range of motion, and I do it really gently. So I usually start with taking my wrists and I circle my wrists around. I open and close my hand. I open and close my elbows. I take my shoulders, swing them around, my neck. Very careful with our necks. Yes, always. Take my spine, very gently twist it around. My legs, my ankles, my toes. God, I'm doing it right now and it feels good. So full range of motion. Tip number 5, if you do that several times throughout the day, nice and easy, nice and gentle, you will be amazed at how much mobility you gain over the weeks with very little effort and just I think I need to do a whole episode on that one. So there we go. There's your 5 tips. Rewind, listen to this again, pick out which one you want to do, and then let me know how it goes. Alrighty, friends. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Exercise should not be dreadful, but getting off the couch is the hardest thing we do. And so, Couch to Active has an all-new website to match our all-new world we live in now. Head over to couchtoactive.com and finish step number 1 today. Did you know that Couch to Active has an app? It's the easiest way to keep track of and follow the Couch to Active podcast. So head on over to your app store, and it doesn't matter whether you're on an iPhone, a tablet, or an Android device. Search for Couch to Active, that's T-O Active. Download the app and check it out. Bye-bye now.